crowd, it's time to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming. Welcome to TDAU Live. That's right. We're on season 3. Take a private jet to a climate summit, and Wendy's don't matter. We got a whole rash of a shit show of stories to get into about Clown World. Before we get there, Sean's in the comments saying, the preamble to the U.S. Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for common defense, etc. Said, please read and understand the remaining context of possibly the most important document in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, context seems to be a thing of the past, my friend. It's just quips and short quotes meant to mislead you about what things are going on. Anyways, to mislead you about what I've been doing. It was an awesome week. I'm not going to lie. I love you guys, and I love that you're a part of it. And yeah, man, it was a banger of a week, that's for sure. The drunk and underwhelming was in rare form this weekend. Out 3 different events. That's right. Not only last week did I do G-Dub's project with him. This week, Thursday, I was at the Vermont Comedy Festival opening party. I got interviewed by Jeffrey from Comedy Matters TV, and hopefully that goes up at some point, because that would be a trip and a half. That guy's interviewed everybody that's anybody in the comedy world. And then Thursday night, I did the one-night comedy, or 1 minute stand-up battle. That's right, there's 45 comics. They all did 1 minute. And I'll actually take this moment to share my set with you. This was my my 1 minute of the comedy stand-up battle. Oh, sorry, wrong. That was the wrong one. This one was.
That's right. We got time for crowd work, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you guys something fucking cool. It's going to be magic, kind of. Maybe, maybe not. Miss, do you like birds? Fuck you. We'll move on to someone faster. Miss, do you like birds? Ha-ha! Yeah. Miss, do you have a favorite type of bird?
No.
Okay, I like when a lady says swallow. I proceed to remove my wedding ring, but where's fuck that bird! Okay. What about you, Miss? Do you have a favorite bird?
Blue jay?
Close. All I prepared tonight was this tiny purple cock. That's right. It's all right, guys. I'm a real boy now. Oh, sorry. That was for the show tomorrow. Christmas show tomorrow night, guys. See you guys next time.
That's right, drunk magician out. Yes, these catchphrases are things that happen in real life too. That was the 1 minute comedy battle, and once we get into the show, I'll share you a minute of the very amazing holiday special I was a part of on phone's blowing up. The one minute from the holiday special I was a part of on Friday at the Grange Theater in Pomfret, Vermont, as part of Vermont Comedy Festival. It was their holiday musical theater show, and I was the magician, and it was actually kind of a play in which we tried out. So the play started with Nikki McCallum and Colin Doyle, and they were about to start a Christmas show and going to do a couple Christmas songs, and they got into a little debate about how they should make the Christmas show better and that it should be more like it was in New York City. So the next scene comes, and they're in New York doing auditions, to which Short Jake from California, actually, a cool guy, albeit from California, he does a couple songs, and they think it's great. And then I come in and try out, and Nikki's aghast, and Colin thinks it's great. And then Vito shows up, Matt Vito, to play Santa Claus, and he's just a surfer guy in a Santa hat doing a Santa bra. And then we cut to next scene. It's weeks later. We've been practicing forever. And they remind the drunk and underwhelming that he's not to perform any magic because he's too risky an act. In fact, what I'm going to do is bring out the Christmas tree and make sure Vita's Santa suit's there and ready to go. Then we cut, and the lights come up, and the Nutcracker, Jake comes out, plays a song or two, goes to intermission. The Nutcracker comes on. There's very light stage lighting, to which the Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming, just sneaks out with the Christmas tree, places it down in the center of the stage. He looks around that place, makes sure there's nobody around, looks at the bar cart, pours himself a drink, decides that's not good enough, and just starts hammering right out of the whiskey, right out of the decanter. Grabs the Santa jacket and sneaks off. Jake comes out, plays a couple more songs, introduces Santa. Santa Vita comes out in just the hat and pants with no shirt on, and proceeds to do a set of comedy and some looper stuff. He does some really, really cool stuff with the looper where he creates songs about people in the audience. And then I barge in and interrupt his set and declare myself Santa, and we lock eyes. And then he says, I guess that's my cue. And we walk by each other, and he gives me a firm shoulder, and we turn and look at each other. I walked out on stage and I said, you know, I don't remember what that short feller Colin said, but I think he said something like, take the Santa suit and definitely make sure you go perform some magic. And then I unleashed my second set upon the crowd, for which they were not prepared. And at the very end, I walked out of there with a Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. And what a time it was. Anyways, that's enough me rambling about shows I've done. We'll watch a clip of that and get into some news in the regular show. Thank you guys for being here. It's the Drunken Undercore, sorry, TDAU Live, episode 3.
Yeah, back baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. It's the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk. Now he's here doing the Drunken Underwhelming Live show.
This is a weird show.
Drunken Underwhelming Live show. Drunken Underwhelming Live show. Drunken Underwhelming Live show.
That is right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming. It's TDAU Live, episode 3. Take a private jet to a climate summit, and Wendy's don't matter. And other exciting things to get into. Matt said that's awesome. Matt, thanks for being here. It was awesome. We had a lot of fun. And I will now go ahead and share a little clip. The audio might be a little janky because this was recorded by the beautiful assistant way up in the back of the theater. But let's check it out.
Great. So thank you so much for coming out. We understand that you're a musician, and love to see a couple tricks.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to audition for your Christmas extravaganza. I am, of course, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming, and I'm prepared to prepare a few feats for you that many have seen, although not everyone. I will start with a very traditional magic trick of preparing a rabbit for my hat.
Right, we love hats.
Yes, a rabbit for my hat. I know this is not the traditional rabbit that you were all prepared to see, so I prepared one of those as well, but it looks more like this. The old Hickory's Magic Dancing Rabbits.
Unbelievable. Perfect. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is the talent I've been waiting to see.
I think I'm great.
Oh, that line kills me. This is the talent we've been wanting to see. That was pretty good. I think I'm great. Yes. And I made sure to wear the same shirt and tie tonight, you know, just to tie it into the video and let you guys know that, yes, I am the same person in the video. Sean said my heart is swelling more than a PBS victim. It's great to see your fame is rising. It was fun. So Short Jake is a really cool dude. And I was very excited to get to meet him. Super talented, and we will be working on some stuff in the future, whether it be music, musical comedy, maybe even some gaming stuff. I don't know, but we clicked. You know, it was one of those things where it's funny. I have a thing with guys named Jake that we tend to just we tend to, you know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. Kyle and Jake are things, and I don't know why. I have no idea why, but it seemed like that. I've actually joked many a time about creating a band called More Than Jake that was consisted entirely of Jakes, because through the times of touring back in the day with the band, we met more musicians named Jake than of any other name, and hot damn. Anyways, what story to get into first? There's a whole lot of them. I guess we'll start off right with the title story. Here we go. Elites flock to climate summit in their private jets because we live in clown world, my friend. Sean says, should I go so far as to say that your comedy is infectious? It was, I will say, actually, before we move into this, It was it was some of the most brazen things that theater has ever seen on stage. That's for sure. I don't think that group of people were ready for what I was about to unleash on them. Because rabbits wasn't the only one. I did rabbits, and then I did a variation of 5 card. That was 2 card, because at that point in the program I was only trying out for the 2 judges. There was no audience at that part in the play. And then later on, I did birds, very similar to how I did at the 1 minute comedy special, except a little more expanded and robust. And then to top it off, I did a I did a really cool piece of rope magic with Christmas tree garland. So yes, I did a traditional rope trick with Christmas tree garland, and it was all those little fibers kind of tore into each other. So when I pulled it tight, the knot didn't just pop off the rope like it normally does. So I set it down and like kind of pulled it off slowly, and it was very magical, my friends. It was a very magic night, and I'm glad. I can't wait to see what some of the audience members thought, because it was an incredibly fast-paced show with a lot of production that went into it. We were in a theater that's probably had millions of dollars put into it. It's weird. It looks like a Grange, like a normal Grange from the outside. It's just a wooden building with nothing special, and then you walk in and you see all the lights and the sound running, and you're like, oh, this is not your everyday Grange. This is it's an 80-person theater that could put on some serious plays. Unfortunately, it's probably not quite big enough to think about renting, because I imagine in that few seat space, and the seats are like IMAX theater style. They go straight up, which is great because everybody has a good view, and it's like a wall of audience in front of you as opposed to looking out into a crowd. But yeah, I'd imagine it would be hard to have any type of return on investment on renting that theater, which is really unfortunate, because that would be, in a perfect world, that would be I would be the house magician at that place. Unfortunately, I'm probably not the magician they want. And they're probably a little more expensive than this magician cares for. So, I don't know, we will be looking. There should be there will be a Hickory show coming up in March for my birthday. That's for sure. Possibly with multiple Hickory characters attending, as well as a few other of my favorite talents. Anyways, let's get back to it. Elites flock to the climate summit in their private jets. That's right. King Charles III delivered an opening address at the COP28 climate conference in Dubai, warning of the dangers of climate change, just after arriving in his personal jet. He urged world leaders to take more action to address the issue, except maybe like he could have suggested that they all use Zoom or some shit, because it seems like flying a private jet to discuss the climate just makes you sound like an asshat. And nobody cares, my friend. Unless we rapidly repair and restore nature's unique economy based on harmony and balance, which is our ultimate sustainer, our own economy and survivability will be imperiled, King Charles said, even though he, flew there on a private jet, putting out more carbon emissions than anybody will in their car in their lifetime. Thank you, King Asshat. I pray with all my heart the COP28 will be another critical turning point towards genuine transformational action, he added. Except, using my, COP. I would assume chronically old people. Yes, chronically old partisans, cryptically odorous people, possibly. We see our alarming tipping points being reached. Yes, like you using a private jet to get to a climate conference. We're definitely at a tipping point, my friend. You should definitely. The conference, attended by global elites, aims find ways to reduce global emissions, except taking their private jets there. Shocking, I know. UK government's pledged $1.6 billion for international climate change projects, including a $60 million contribution to loss and damage fund for the world's poorest countries. The conference had over 104,000 attendees, including government teams and experts. Yeah, because nothing says 400 plus private jets to devise strategies to save the planet from people like them. That's actually a pretty good headline. They're Breitbart. Might not be a fan, but you did happen to nail it. That's for sure. This one was just a fun story to be lighthearted before we got into the other ridiculous fun stories. But a more lighthearted one. Stick shared this the other day, so I had to give it a little shout out from Yahoo News. A missile used as a garden ornament for 74 years was detonated by bomb squad. That's right, an antique bomb that had been sitting outside a Pembrokeshire house and used as a garden ornament for more than 70 years was taken away and detonated by the bomb squad this week. Look at this thing. The bomb's been outside of the house of Cyan and Jeffrey Edwards of Dartmouth Gardens in Milford Haven. I'm assuming this is over in Europe or something, or it's just in Connecticut. I'm not sure. It's very similar names. Milford Haven since after the Second World War, but in fact dates back to much further than that. I've lived in this street since I was 3, said Jeffrey, and it has always been there. He said that the bomb had been found by the previous occupants of his house, the Morris family. The father used to go around delivering lemonade on a horse and cart and was known as Pops Morris. It was on Broadhaven Beach and brought it back on his horse and cart and had been at the house ever since. The bomb, which dates to 1880 to 1890, is believed to have been fired from a warship using a Broadhaven Beach as a target practice. The bomb has become part of the house's feature. The couple lived there after the Morris family sunk into the cement in the front garden. And when Jeffrey and his wife Cyan moved in 1982, they painted it red to match their windowsills. Nobody thought the bomb had any charge, or after gardening, Cyan used to bang her trowel against it to get loose earth off. That's a good one too. Covert, overt pedos. Pretty much sums it up. He used to bang his trowel against it. That's awesome. All was well, and Jeffrey and Cyan got a knock on the door Wednesday evening. A police officer said it would be necessary to take photos of the device and send them to the MOD. Within an hour, the officer was back on Jeffrey and Cyan's doorstep saying the bomb squad would be arriving the next day. At 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, the police arrived on the street following the bomb squad and the fire brigade. There was some talk of the street being evacuated. Jeffrey told the officers that he and Cyan would stay in the house regardless. If the house goes up, we're going with it, he told them. In the end, it was not necessary to evacuate, but after an x-ray, the bomb disposal experts did find that the shell still had a small charge. There had been a little more of life in the old girl, said Jeffrey. They couldn't leave it here just in case it decided to blow. Yeah, because that's totally how that works. Is 100-plus-year-old bombs totally just blow up all the time, I'm sure. The experts worked throughout the day, slowly digging the bomb out of the concrete. It was then taken under police escort to quarry in Quallen's Castle, where it was covered in 5 tons of sand and detonated the next day. I was sorry to see it go. It was part of my life all those years. Like, couldn't they have brought it back? Like, I imagine that, like, the powder in that, like, they would have, like Joe Dirt dragging around the frozen turd. I was thinking, like, when he had the tank on his back that he thought was a missile, but was really an old septic tank. But yeah, the frozen poop meteorite thing. Similar story. Next up in the stories of clown world that we live in. Rioters' $500 fine for burning down a Wendy's sparks outrage. I wonder why. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Conservatives are outraged that 2 people charged with burning down a Wendy's restaurant in Atlanta in the summer of 2020 were fined just $500 each. I don't think it should just be conservatives that are outraged, man. I feel like this is like one of those things where I'm like, really? Like, normal people aren't a little bit pissed off that it's like the going rate for burning down a business and putting 15 or 20, probably 30 people out of work. $500. Like some of these people, that sucks, dude. Like, you're working as a fry cook at Wendy's, just like barely scraping by, and these idiot protesters take it over because some idiot fell asleep drunk in the drive-thru and pulled on a cop's taser. And it's a whopper of a story. Burger King, get it? Yeah. So the story was that Rayshard Brooks got shot there because he fell asleep during an encounter. I love that they say that during an encounter. One where he was on drugs or drunk, asleep in a drive-thru, and he pulled up to him, and instead of just complying, like you would in that situation, He fought with the cop and then grabbed his taser and ran off and then fired the taser at the cop, so he got shot. Yeah, that one was one of those that I'm just like, what? This was also the same Wendy's that I'm pretty sure Sequoia Turner was the name of the little girl who got shot because her family got lost and was trying to turn around there, not realizing it was an occupied zone. And yeah, nobody ever marched for that poor little girl. I should say, Wendy stopped giving up the hot and juicy Burger King was not happy. They're both kind of greasy, not gonna lie. Yeah, prosecutor said these idiots set a fire, destroyed Wendy's in June 2020 amid sparks outraged by the fatal shooting of Rayshard Brooks, 27-year-old black man, by a police officer during an encounter outside the restaurant. Kingston and White accepted plea deals on Thursday, just days before they were set to go on trial. Both pleaded guilty to the charges, including arson in the first degree. They will each have to pay a $500 fine, complete 150 hours of community service, and serve 5 years of probation, according to the local station. Wade remains in federal custody. Yeah, that doesn't seem like an appropriate response for burning down a business that had people in it, probably. I mean, MTG, a Republican from Georgia, took social media to rail against their sentences, comparing those charged offenses to January 6th, to which the rest of the article pretty much says, but January 6th was so much worse. And, oh my God, these people are trying to overthrow democracy. Meanwhile, these people burned down a people's place of work and got $500 fine and 150 hours community service and probation, which who knows how lax that's going to be, but I'm sure it is not what they deserve, because that's it seems like that would be a more I don't know, a more stiffer fine. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, that one. Oh. Oh, I've reached my free article limit. Really? Hold on. I'll have to pull up a separate story on this because they want to be dumb. Yeah, here we go. In the next... Will George Soros cover that fine? Yeah, probably. That wouldn't surprise me if that was already... It was probably paid for by their bail fund already or whatever. That's how most of these places operate. Nope, sorry. Trying to find an article that's not behind a paywall because this is dumb. From Business Insider. Speaking of silly fast food, Panera Bread is facing its second wrongful death lawsuit after a man had a cardiac arrest following drinking its caffeinated charged lemonade. The man died in October after drinking 3 cups of Panera's brand's charged lemonade, according to the lawsuit. Drink has a high caffeine content, and his family alleged this wasn't clearly labeled. Last year, a 21-year-old student with a heart condition died after drinking the beverage. Yeah, that's an ad. Panera Bread has been hit with a second wrongful death lawsuit related to his caffeinated charged lemonade. 46-year-old man living in Fleming Island, Florida, just south of Jacksonville, died on his way home in October after drinking 3 cups of Panera charged lemonade, according to a lawsuit filed by his mother, sister, and brother on Monday at the Delaware Superior Court. The man, Dennis Brown, had high blood pressure, a chromosomal deficiency disorder, developmental delay, and ADHD, and didn't consume energy drinks or coffee. Instead, he stuck to water, root beer, iced tea, and lemonade, per the lawsuit. Brown was a loyal Panera Bread customer and typically visited his local store 3 times a week for food after work, his family wrote the lawsuit. October 9th, Brown visited the store after work and bought a Panera charged lemonade in mango yuzu citrus flavor, according to the lawsuit, which sounds delicious, I'm not going to lie. He's believed to have spent around 90 minutes in the restaurant and have drunk 3 cups of the lemonade in total. Brown had a cardiac arrest walking home from the store, was unresponsive on the sidewalk, and was pronounced dead at the scene. Based on our investigation, we believe his unfortunate passing was not caused by one of the company's products, Panera said in a media statement. We view this lawsuit, which was filed by the same law firm as the previous claim, to be equally without merit. Panera stands firmly behind the safety of our products. Although, are they going to go into it? Yep, okay, here. As October, A large 30 fluid ounce portion of either flavor of the charged lemonade. Panera offered mango, yuzu, citrus, or strawberry lemon mint. Contained about 390 milligrams of caffeine. The chain appears to have reformulated the beverage to reduce their caffeine content. The former now contains 235 milligrams of caffeine, the latter 237. Both contain large quantities of sugar with 74 grams in a large cup, 50 grams for the strawberry. Panera also says that blood orange charged splash, which is sugar-free but caffeinated. The drink's also available in 20 fluid ounce portions, so this was the 30 fluid ounce, big cup. U.S. Food Administration cites 400 milligrams of caffeine a day as a generally safe limit for a healthy adult, but notes can vary. An 8.4 fluid ounce skinny can of Red Bull contains 80 mgs. Panera Bread, a 20 fluid ounce cup of cappuccino, has 145, and each additional shot of espresso adds an extra 73. Sandwich chain said on its website the customer should drink the charged beverages in moderation, since they're not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant, and nursing women. That's who the hell runs this company? Jack the Sipper. Oh, solid work there, Sean. Yeah, that's pretty good. Lawsuits. Brown relatives said the charged lemonade was displayed with any warning as customers at the Fleming Island store and is typically presented alongside non-caffeinated drinks. Accordingly, a dentist consumed the Panera charged lemonade, reasonably confident it was traditional lemonade containing a reasonable amount of caffeine safe for him to drink. Even though normal lemonade doesn't have any caffeine in it, but okay. The lawsuit from Brown's family follows a similar one filed by the parents of University of Pennsylvania student Sarah Katz in October. Katz, who lived with a heart condition since the age of 5, stayed away from energy drinks, died 21 last September after drinking charged lemonade. Some social media users have likened the charged lemonades to crack in a cup, saying that Panera's free refill policy means customers consume huge amounts of caffeine in one sitting. Oh, that's yeah, that's an interesting play. That's free refills, man. Because yeah, that's a pre-workout. Like 400 mgs is like it's not fucking around. 390 milligrams of caffeine is not a small amount, my friends. It's like an average scoop. It's like a scoop or a double scoop of decent pre-workout. Like a normal one's like gonna be like a Bang Energy is like 300. A good pre-workout's gonna be like three to 4. Somewhere in there. I mean, a lot of the smaller ones are like 175 to 2, so you can double scoop them. But yeah, that's a solid amount of caffeine. That's definitely not a small amount. Which one do I want to do next? Yeah, get rid of the missile one. Riders. Oh, I thought this one was funny, even though it didn't have a whole lot to do with me. This was farmers in France are rising up against the draconian regulations. Now they're literally spraying cow shit at government buildings. This is oh, I should have. Let me share this so I can share the audio because we want to. You know, if the shit flies, I want to hear it, right? That's. Guess what? Oh, it's too funny not to share. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, that's wonderful. I love it when the farmers come back. When the farmers stand up, my friends. French farmers are fed up with the socialist leaders and their government. Europe needs to stand up and fight back. Unlike those climate activists who believe blocking traffic and people trying to get the work in their way, these farmers know how to protest. It's the kind of activism I can get behind. Yeah, there's also great comments on here. We should do this in America too. I'm not saying that. That was a comment, to be clear. It was so much better in the Netherlands. They used wet material. Yeah, that's true. That was a much better one. But this one was still pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. There's something pretty funny about just launching manure at a government building. You know, really let them know that they're shit. That's really. Oh. Before we get into the weird ones, okay, we got through Panera Lemonade. Okay, I guess we'll move into this one next since we're talking about Christmas, and that's coming up. California cancels their Christmas tree lighting ceremony after pro-Palestinian protest threats, which made me go, huh, why are we still paying for Christmas tree lighting ceremonies? Yeah. Sean said, ironically, their shit will never change. Yeah. Well, but it's fun to remind them that they are shit and surround them with like things. So I think it's a noble form of protest. But yeah, I read this and I was like, I'm like half shocked that California still has a tree lighting ceremony. That seems not multicultural and diverse enough. Like, why do they also have a menorah lighting ceremony and a Festivus? They should have a feats of strength, I think, where the governor has to wrestle somebody, and then they could have an airing of grievances. I think that would really benefit California if they just switched over to Festivus, right? That's like really what we would all want is and I don't know if any of you guys ever been to a Festivus gathering, but they're pretty much the best holiday gathering you can go to. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan. But yeah, they canceled their Christmas tree lighting ceremony after pro-Palestinian protest threats. Oh, because an annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony in California was canceled over a planned pro-Palestine protest. The 92nd annual Sacramento Christmas tree lighting will not be held publicly, with the performances instead being streamed online. So these lefty idiots don't have to get protested by other lefties about Palestine. Newsom cited tensions in the country as the reason for canceling the festivities. As we continue to see protests across the country impacting the safety events on all scales, the safety and security of all participating members and guests, including children and families, the ceremony this year will be virtual. Are you admitting that sometimes leftist protests are violent? Is that why you're worried about safety and security, Mr. Newsom? Because it seems like you guys were all about that shit like 3 months ago. A Newsom spokesperson said on Tuesday afternoon, according to KCRA, the program is unchanged and viewers can tune in Wednesday evening to watch this year's festivities. And yeah. Oh, a party for socialism and liberation. Because those two totally go hand in hand. That's end all U.S. aid to apartheid, Israel, stand with Palestine and the occupation. Now, I'd say end funding to everybody, my friends. Let's work on us first. As the great Jordan Peterson once said, maybe we should clean our own room. That's University of Nevada, Las Vegas shooting, laundry list of previous crimes and military experience. Shocking. Sounds like a lot of the current ones. I actually haven't looked that up. I just saw that was breaking right before I went live on the show. And to be honest, I was more interested in sitting here in the studio and working on some music, which I will share the second draft of the Christmas tune in a little bit. But yeah, well, I'll look that up right now. Four dead, shooter dead. Okay, yeah, I'll pull that up here in a second. Celebration, an annual tradition dating back to the 1930s, highlights California's diverse heritage and spirit of inclusion. The program inclusion, like, we're so inclusive. We have Christmas. I guess technically that probably is inclusion for California. So I look up university. Live updates from MNBC. See if we can pull up. Time. Lab updates. Yeah, I guess we're going with MAC on this one. What to know? The suspect in the University of Nevada, Las Vegas shooting killed at least 3 people as a man in his 60s. 3 law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation tell NBC there's no immediate information about a motive. At least 3 people were killed, and police said a 4th person in critical condition at the hospital. Police said the suspect has been located and is dead. The UNLV gunman died after a shootout with police. And this is breaking, ladies and gentlemen. This one's like happening in real time right now. This update was 8:33, which was about a minute ago. Suspected gunman died after a shootout with police. Garcia said UPD responded to calls of shots fired on campus about 11:45 a.m. local time. Two UPD detectives responded immediately and engaged the suspect in a shootout. Suspect was struck and dead. The shooting originated on the fourth floor of the Beam Hall building on campus. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Sheriff said it went to multiple floors before the suspect was neutralized outside the building. There are no immediate details on the gun used by the shooter because we're all dying to know if it was an AR-15 or not. That's totally the most important thing. Evidently, did in his parents the night. Oh. Three law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation say the deceased suspect in the Unionville shooting, the man in his 60s. Yeah, they're praying and there's gun violence and we need to take away your guns to make you safer, even though our police suck. We're grateful. This year alone, our nation has experienced more than 600 mass shootings, approximately 40,000 deaths due to gun violence, Biden said. This is not normal, and we can never let it become normal, even though it's only gotten worse under your leadership, sir. Interesting how you never point that shit out. At least 3 people are dead in UNVL shooting. ATF and FBI are at the scene, because why wouldn't they be? Merrick Garland was briefed on it because, you know, it's really important to the AG right now. I like to point out the potential for false flags. Yeah, you never know. Or, I mean, even just if he was just, it wouldn't surprise me if it comes out when, like, this dude was on a watch list for like 3 years and he was in a Discord server with FBI agents. Yeah, that kind of shit is pretty normal now. And, yeah, bummer. Hearts go out to, all the people affected by this lunatic, because that's generally who tend to do these types of things, that's for sure. But speaking of scary shit going on, this is a video found on Twitter. Caravan of Chinese males arriving at the U.S. border. Yeah, because, like, fresh, brand new clothes, new luggage. Definitely nobody funded this operation. That's for sure. Yeah, I got some matching backpacks. We got a bunch of working age men. Okay, 1 woman, I guess. Okay, there's 2. Yeah, about 1 in 10. There's a couple down here. 3. Okay. 5 out of the whole lineup. And the rest are like military aged men. It's coming in from China. That's or at least from Asia. Like these are, oh, look at that. A whole bunch more of working age men. Yeah, we got a few ladies over here and a few back there, but for the most part, Redacted did an excellent coverage on this, had a reporter go to the exact same journey. Oh, yeah, it's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty wild that there's like people who have flown down there just to do the thing and come back and like it's documented and still nothing's changed. Nothing to see here, folks. Just a whole bunch. Yeah, it's a mass influx of military-age men with ideals that are not aligned with our culture. Yeah, it might be a small problem. There's no way this is coincidence. How many countries are currently invading the U.S. because Joe Biden and our government? Oh, that's I mean that's kind of like what happened when he came out. Yeah. There's people pointing out like, hey guys, this isn't that's not normal. So they followed a handbill of all places to stop Chinese funding right up to the border. They followed a handbill? I don't know what that is. Yep, that's it's fascinating the things going on down there, my friends, as things that we're led to believe are not quite true. I mean, that is definitely not a bunch of people seeking asylum from Central America, no, is it? But maybe this is part of the point. Actually, I gotta take that one down. Yeah, bring it up with audio because this one, the audio is important on this one. Here it is. Senator Dick Durbin finally revealing the grand plans from DC Drano. Flood the country with illegal aliens, listen them in the military, and make them citizens. The part he hasn't disclosed is who the Marxists will use the alien soldiers against.
Now, What troubles me about the debate now about the southern border is it is one half of the immigration equation. Yes, we need order at the border. Yes, we need to have changes in the laws that reflect the reality of the overwhelming numbers from all over the world who are coming to our shores and our border.
Yeah, we totally don't need just to maybe make the border less civ-like. When I say hand-built, I mean a flyer that's handed out to the travelers, migrants. Okay. Dick Durbin, suck my turban. That's right. My sweaty onion-scented turban.
But there's also an incredible demand for legal immigration into this country even now. The presiding officer, my colleague from the state of Illinois, has legislation which addresses one aspect of that. Her bill, and I hope I describe it accurately, says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States.
Yep, boom. And, yeah, totally, all the conspiracy theories were never going to be right on this one. But here we are with Senator Dick Durbin on the floor basically saying, hey, we should make all these illegals. We have an awful immigration problem, and nobody wants to join the military. We have fucked up the military so bad that nobody wants to join it, and we fucked up immigration so bad that everybody's here. Why don't we just make all the illegals our military, and then we'll give them citizenship after they serve? Yeah, that doesn't sound sketchy at all, my friends.
Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force? They can't reach their quotas each month. They can't find enough people to join our military forces. And there are those who are undocumented who want the chance to serve and risk their lives for this country.
As if they didn't already risk their lives crossing the border that you left open. I've been talking about this for months when they were going to bring these people, ship them to war. Remember gangs in New York? Migrants got off the boat and went directly to civil war. Yep. Yeah. Maybe we should ship them all to Ukraine. Just saying. Maybe we don't make them fight. We ship them. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty wild that actively on the floor we have somebody now stating, hey, we fucked up the military. And our immigration's fucked too. Maybe we can just create a bigger problem and not solve either of the underlying issues. That seems to be the way we roll in this country. Is like, let's just slap a Band-Aid on something that's not going to work.
Should we give them a chance? I think we should. And let me tell you about other.
Yeah, I'm good on you telling us about anything else, Dick. That seems like not a great idea. Not gonna lie. I've been wrong before. That one is holy crap levels of just yeah, I didn't think that was gonna be one of those that got that actually got floated on the floor in my lifetime, but here we are, living in clown world as we do. Speaking of clown world, let's get to the next story. Oh, this poor kid. Woke media attempts to cancel a child over racist hoax meets heavy backlash. Yep, it was in the news before last week, but it really came full circle this week. That's for sure. There's only so much anyone can do about the cancel culture nowadays. From the look of things, everyone has resigned to fate and accepted that it has come to stay. Regardless, there are boundaries that the proponents of the cancel culture must not cross to maintain the general level of acceptability it has enjoyed. One of them is never bringing a child into something as humiliating as this. Unless it's Nick Sandmann, and then, whatever. But he don't get me wrong, he made his money. I'd like some Nick Sandmann money. However, it seems that the woke media didn't catch the memo as they tried to cancel a young boy following CBS's Sunday NFL coverage. Some sane people weren't having it and fired back at the bullies that the team in what may have termed spectacular. According to the reports, the child, about 10 years old, is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He attended the team's away game against Las Vegas in a painted face with an American Indian headdress on. Some ex-former Twitter users were enraged by this and called it a racist costume. Speak out against a Kansas City Chief fan in blackface native headdress, read an article by Deadspin Reports writer Karen J. Phillips. which is ironic that his name is Karen, because, yeah, I'm willing to bet that Karen is culturally appropriating his name. Sean said, I don't know what the big deal is. We let China produce everything in our lives anyways. I'm sure they'll protect me from the baddies. Yeah, it seems like a perfectly good idea. I mean, they're already like in government. We might as well let a bunch of their military-aged men come over and join our military. There definitely couldn't be any bad ideas about having a bunch of people that are non-loyal to the country serve as our military. Yeah, instead of fixing the military and making it something that people want to join, let's import people and tell them, hey, we're going to dangle this carrot. You can be a citizen after if you don't die. Takes a lot of disrespect to two people at once, he had written. But on Sunday afternoon in Las Vegas, Kansas City Chiefs fan found a way to hate black people and Native Americans at the same time. According to another sports media outlet, the fan wore, quote, blackface and displayed Native American racism. Blackface is an offensive way non-blacks wear dark makeup to mock black people. Yeah, like good description. You couldn't go into the history of it at all, I'm sure. However, this wasn't what the boy did. Phillips and his cohorts focused on the black side of his face, but a complete picture showed he painted the other half of his face red. It perfectly aligns with the Kansas City Chiefs colors. Did the child's costume offend black players on the Chiefs? It didn't seem so. Even among the Native Americans, the offensiveness of the boy's appearance is still subject to debate. Meanwhile, regardless of the child's motives, it was distasteful and disgusting to see adults shamelessly bash a little boy way below their age grade. It was worse than their outrage over a false narrative. Many felt the media had no moral right to shame a child for innocently wearing something that may offend others. Yeah, because fuck them. Fuck the media. In an exciting twist, the child's mother had revealed, and family records confirmed, they're Native American. Yeah, suck it, Karen. It's unheard of for a parent to dress up their child in an attire that ridicules their race or ethnicity. Also, an outfit can not be termed offensive to Native Americans when it's worn by a Native American. Sadly, Deadspin hasn't corrected their false narrative or issued an apology. If anything, they have embarrassingly justified their stance. According to a white editor, it's, quote, not their place to give a verdict on whether the costume fanned the embers of racism since Phillips is black. Meanwhile, Phillip was unintentionally come out to say that the fact that the child was wearing the team's colors makes it even worse. Philip has sacrificed an innocent child on the altar of peak political correctness or sensationalism. It's disgusting to see. While the profession will always have rotten as actions have hit a record low and the public fears things only gotten worse in the media space, people like Phillips are allowed to progress in error. Yeah, what an asshat. What's the number for the Chinese police department? Free. Oh, savage. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got through that one. We only got a couple more to go here, my friends. That's right. Oh, we got one new update. UNLV will be closed for the rest of today, tomorrow, and Friday. University Police Chief Adam Garcia said at the news conference, said additional determinations will be made as to whether the school reopen next week, which is finals week. Damn. Bummer for them kids. Oh, we saw the caravan. California canceling Christmas. Okay. We got two more. And then a song, and then we're out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. This one from the Washington Examiner. A little local news to end out the show with. Vermont School District says Detransition Awareness Day violates the equity policy. Because why wouldn't we have an equity policy, right? Senior officials at Essex Westford School District in Vermont shut down an attempt to educate students about people who have regretted undergoing gender transition, claiming it ran afoul of the district's equity policy. According to internal communications obtained through a FOIA request by the parent activist group Parents Defending Education, officials in the Vermont School District said that adding Detransition Awareness Day to the calendar on March 12th did not align with the district's efforts to promote equity. Because they're idiots and they want equity. And they would love to take a tall person and chop them down at the knees so they can be as short as the others. The concept of detransitioning has become a source of controversy as people who have previously claimed a new gender identity but later returned to their biological gender have spoken out about the damage caused by the transgender movement, including the speed in which some doctors prescribe life-altering medical treatments to young people with questioning their identity. People who transition genders in any direction are recognized on National Coming Out Day and during Pride Month, district officials said in an email. We would, of course, support someone transitioning in any direction. Centering transition gender as damaging does not align with the SWD's requirement of being LGBTQIA affirming. This particular frame on gender transition, moving from a trans status to a status of gender assigned at birth because of damage done, is not something we would center. Even though it is just transitioning, it's transitioning back. So they should fight that with. We would, of course, support someone transitioning in any direction, which is complete bullshit because any direction would mean that they support somebody transitioning back as well. So, fuck you, liars. The official went on to say the district would support any person transitioning for any reason through the current days and the structures we recognize to be supportive of their transition by recognizing the gender to which they identify. Meaning that you're supposed to respect them if they transition back too, right? Detransition can be hurtful to transgender people and youth, the official said. We want to meet their mental needs because they shouldn't have a warning about things that can go wrong and that people do make bad decisions and that maybe sometimes you should really think through your decision before you make it. No, just walk them right down a path of, making poor decisions because it's what they were told they should do. School district official also, and I'm not saying everyone that transitions making a poor decision. It might be the right decision for you. I want to be clear because I don't hate my trans friends, and if they want to do that shit, whatever. I'm just saying there should be a little bit of education around the subject that some people do ultimately decide they made a bad decision and then regret. It's like any plastic surgery because that's what it is. Sometimes people love their new boobs, and other times they regret them. And that's something that maybe we should talk about, Good Lord. Often people are talking about their detransition, maybe doing so so after being subjected to conversion therapy or being propped up by an organization that don't support transgender people, the outside source said. Oh my God. Because somebody might have said it that didn't really believe it. It means everybody's story is fake. The school district official also concluded with an unidentified outside source told the official that the detransition awareness narrative is not scientifically based. It sounds like both sides have the exact same argument. In another email, a district official told another parent that the narrative around Detransition Day, where genuine celebration or recognition of folks who are detransitioning without pointing towards others, is harmful for creating representation and equal rights for trans folks. I would see this differently. They're not harming trans folks. They're trying to warn them. You guys, oh my God, this is so dumb. The standard is this: harm towards others based on identity is against our policy. So what about the poor folks who are detransitioning? Why don't you respect their transition as well? I don't understand your fucking double speak and your weird logic. You people are idiots. Yeah, of course she did not respond for comment. Erica Sanzi, the director of Outreach Parents Defending Education, said the schools should stop filling their calendar with these, quote, silly days, but if they do choose to incorporate them, they cannot, quote, choose sides. Schools should stop celebrating all these silly days in the calendar, but if they're going to insist on celebrating them, they can't choose sides, she said. It's laughable yet predictable that school officials obsessed with equity and inclusion would choose to exclude detransition awareness from the causes they want students to be familiar with. Yes, because, it's not real inclusivity. Oh, that was we got apparently a Joe Biden taking a digger compilation going on over here. That was that was happening. Yeah, what a fucking time we live in. Oh, we got one more new update. They applauded this. Yeah, they applauded everyone for their quick time and all that shit. Okay. I actually kind of want to get into this one in the after show because it's a little bit wild. So what I'm going to do now is I shared this one on the show last week, but I've kind of reworked it. And the first verse is the same, but I redid the chorus and laid down a second verse. And this is the little Christmas jingle that me and MC Molasses are working on. So I figured I'd finish out with something fun. The song's going to be called Christmas Baby. And yeah, here we go. I know there's a lot of bullshit going on this time of year. Sitting out here, looking at all these fucking commercials and ads. All these companies, they don't give a shit. They're just trying to make a quick buck. But I figured I'd take time to say something I wouldn't normally say.
Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. Well, I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby. Jingle bells turns commercial shit just like Taco Bell. The kids say Batman smells, but we know the fat man sells. And I've been doing my best to be nice and keep myself up out of hell. It's not that I'm scared of going, I'm afraid that I'll do too well. Terrified that's where I'll be when I finally find myself. And that's why I'm talking to you, cause I don't know who else to tell. And I'm turning around real good, I'm trying to do real well. But sometimes when I watch Shameless, it feels like I watch myself. And then I found love, and now here we are. I'm writing a Christmas song in the snow outside of the car. And I don't know about us, and I don't know who we are, but I know that I want you around, and for you to not go too far. I don't know what to say, babe, it's too much to go through. You gotta do with the bad news, take a bruise like it don't affect you. I just wanted to say, Merry fucking Christmas, baby. I've really wanted to say, I've been thinking about you lately. Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. Well, I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby. I've been dreaming about no flights, fantasizing about a silent night, for all the bullshit to drown out when the fat man finally takes flights. The fat lady to sing, and you know it's like she just might get winded, not finish, and I just want it to be over tonight. You know I wrapped some gifts and stuck them under a tree that Jim and Charlie Brown said. My gifts would be the ones wrapped with duct tape in a trash bag. That's what I deserve when I think of what I could have had if I focused, paid attention, showed more mercy than I just got mad. Then I found love, and I knew who we were. We were wassailing around the weekends and getting whiskey slurred. Now it seems like so long ago, is that the bourbon or her? How'd I fuck this up so bad, so can I be heard? And I don't know what to say, babe, it's too much to go through. You get screwed, you can barely choose, don't forget good news, it fix you. I just wanted to say, I fucking miss Christmas, baby. I guess I've been thinking about the old me a little too much lately. Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. Well, I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby. Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. Well, I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got on this one. Thank you guys for joining me. And yeah, second verse needs a little cleanup, but it's coming along. It's getting there, that's for sure. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll be back next week. And yes, December 20th, Saucy Santa will be back joining me on the program. I'm stoked to have him on. As per usual, we'll be taking call-ins and questions. Yeah, thank you, Sean. Oh, he also said, I believe the culture war is at a point of attrition, lack of ammunition, and moral determination to continue too much longer. Yeah, you might very well be right. Anyways, I'm going to play the long credits, which are in, I think they're in the wrong order. I'm going to play it anyways, because I got to pee real quick before we get in the after show, but I will see you, gents, ladies and gents. You have a beautiful night too, my friend. I appreciate you. I will see you on the after show. Till then, Drunk Magician out. Cheers.
Probably time to go. This is an adult show, yeah, this is an adult show, and if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go. Above all else, I just want to say thank you. Have a beautiful night. Drunk Magician out. Cheers. Now let's get the credits. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate the help. Cause this is a show I do by myself. I produce the shit myself. And I've been through a lot with friends and a lot of shit I